guys, welcome back to the Sailor Ventures YouTube channel. It's Captain Aqua here with you for another episode, and it's a long-awaited one because we've just come back from the holiday season and we're going to be diving into a brand new topic, and it's going to be on NFTs. Yes, that's right. We've been talking a lot about GameFi, educational content, especially a lot of stuff that we have been creating for the Apollo Academy. But I thought this is going to be very much in line with what we are going to be doing for the year, which is going to be centralized around a lot of community building. All right, so I'm going to be very much responsible for making that happen, and we're also going to be working on a very special GEMS campaign that is currently live on the Galaxy platform. But for now, we have spent like just only 4 or 5 days heavily researching into the current scene of NFTs, and I gotta say, it looks very, very promising. There's been a huge pump over the past couple of weeks in terms of stable prices and the major tokens going up in value, and that is also reflecting in the mood in the NFT space as a lot of these key projects start to pick off, and there are a lot of similar ones that hold the same core values, all right, that can resonate with the Web3 community, and these seem to be pushing up as well. All right, so the first one that we're going to be talking about today which is going to be the Plague NFT collection. All right, so the reason why I found this project very, very unique is that you have a group of individuals who are led by a very relentless founder who is extremely hardworking, and they focus on a goal where they are going to root out scammers and bad actors from Web3, all right? So hence the plague. So for those of you who know your Bible stories, there was a time when Moses had to go up to the Pharaoh of Egypt and demand that he release all the Hebrews, right? And the frogs were one of the plagues, all right? So this is essentially what it is. We're unleashing a plague of frogs onto Web3 in spirit of removing away the bad actors and the scammers. All right, you will find that in their Discord channel they have all these Twitter raids that not only promote some of the ongoing debates about what are the NFT projects to look out for, but as you can see, they also have a scam busting section, which I find of immense value because you can find all these fake accounts that impersonate real Twitter accounts and try to rope in people and get their assets and their wallet. All right, so basically you are spreading all that awareness, and it is with a lot of drive. All right, the community is so closely knit. In fact, if you were to look at the page that I got here, just to highlight just how closely knit the community is, when we come together, everybody is shooting their frogs. There is a very strong sense of unity, and everybody is coming together, very welcoming. All right, even for myself, when I picked up my first frog and I went ahead and made my introductions, you can see that that post was able to generate for me 280 likes. All right, staggering 65 retweets, 61 messages from fellow frogs welcoming me to the fam, and it's just ongoing. All right, when there are new frogs coming in, we're so happy to see them, and it's a movement. All right, it's a very, very strong movement. So right now you can even take your frogs and stake them, and you can even earn your frog token as well, which is FRG. In the future, of course, that's going to have much more utility, but from what I know, some folks were able to use these tokens to get in on the mint of another protocol that the team is working on, all right? And it's the Acorn protocol, and currently right now the floor for that is like 0.4 Ethereum, all right, which is just over $400 perhaps, and it only cost them $150 worth of Ethereum to mint, and some of them were able to claim that with the Frog token as well. So some of them could have gotten it for free just by paying with the Frog token. Now I don't know the full details about that because I only joined late December, and this campaign of course was already running towards the early stages of December, right? But there's a lot happening, and it's a very, very closely knit community. What I like about this the most, right, is that there seems to be a very strong synergy with this collection called the Brawler Bears. All right, one good example is that you have this individual who is an outstanding host. I was able to tune in for his Twitter space recently, Carlo, and he's currently a frog and a bear, all right, which are the Brawler Bears once more. Okay, and essentially this gentleman was on the Twitter space together with one of the founders as well for the bear collection, all right, who is Scott, all right? And Scott is this amazing developer who has been just grinding out the entire ecosystem that is Brawler Bears, and he too is a frog as well. Alright, so you can see of course that he's also closely knit with Pawns, who is the founder of the Plague NFT collection, and it's a very, very common goal, right? Because we were sitting in the Twitter space and we were talking about just how sick the Web3 industry is in regards to bad actors and scammers and just wanting to root them out. And one of the topics that was brought up eventually was something as simple as the Pocket Universe browser extension, right? They were talking about how this is able to sort of simulate transactions on the Ethereum mainnet, right? It can warn you for potential threats. I've learned so much in this short space of time, like how if you are airdropped NFTs and if you try to sell them, you're giving them the access to the NFT wallet, right? To your whole wallet when you approve the contract, when you try to sell those NFTs, and that is how those bad actors get access to your wallets, alright? So they actually highlight this amazing extension that will simulate what will happen if you sign the contract. There are even times where it will tell you that, okay, this is not an approval of a contract, it's just a signing, so you don't have to worry about too much. But when you approve a contract, it can even put down the details and warn you of the potential danger, right? So it's just stuff like this that you're doing for the community, alright? Instead of having a whole bunch of flippers who are just demanding that the floor price go up, yada yada, no. It's a very steady stream of positivity and community growing, alright? And again, just such a perfect example. We have the synergy here between Scott and Carlo. Pawns, obviously, very closely knit, alright, between the frogs and also the bears, alright? So again, back to the frogs. When I came in, I was looking at a floor price of about 0.7, 0.73, and then it sort of had a retrace to like 0.67, which I felt was an insane time to grab more frogs because there were some really clean ones that were flawed. But right now it has already bounced back to 0.75, and you can see there are quite a lot of good ones available. I personally like this one that is currently on sale at 0.9 because it's very similar to the one I own. It's a very clean body. But get this, alright, the price has been climbing all throughout the year. They started in April, and you got stuff like 0.1, 0.3, and it's just been going, alright? So the rate that this project is growing is quite insane. And I dare say that it has the same momentum to catch up with like Sappy Seals, for example. So now, I don't know for sure too much about the history of Sappy Seals, but I know they have a super strong community as well. I'm also going to be looking into them. But the reason why I did not dive into both Sappy Seals and Pudgy Penguins, who are obviously one of the front runners right now in the ecosystem, is that obviously the floor price can be a little bit steep for someone who's coming in, alright? So which is why I thought it might be a good example. I came in with 0.85 with my NFT, this fella over here, and considered quite a pretty good deal because he has the diamond grill mouth, he's got good skin, he's clean, and he's holding on to the spear. I think that's what it is. Yeah, a spear right there. Yeah, I didn't bother to check because I was just so happy with the outlook, and it took me a while to actually find the one that I wanted, and the community was very helpful because in the Discord, they actually talk about like what are the current steals on the marketplace, what are the traits that they find very attractive. And the gentleman that actually got me inspired to buy this guy was actually saying that, holy cow, I am 0.02 ETH away from buying this fella. Alright, 0.02 or 0.2, alright, doesn't matter. He said that he wanted it, but he just didn't have the Ethereum for it. So that kind of like sparked something in me. I was like, okay, if this guy's willing to pay the full price for this now, but he doesn't have it, then clearly it's a good deal. Alright, and I snapped it up, and I'm pretty glad with him because he's pretty unique. And as the way the floor is gonna go, you know, amongst all the different green frogs, which I'm sure are the more common ones, essentially I feel that I'm in a pretty good position to grow with the community, alright? But again, for those of you who are looking for a quick flip, this is not what we're talking about during this episode. It's about community building, and I think it's a really, really solid one at that, alright? So, just some examples over here. You know, they all come together, frogs and bears, all talking about just how we are looking for more to join the community, like-minded individuals. The hype is real. Everybody will come in super quick, alright? You can see that even for some of these NFT KOLs, you know, the obvious ones over here. We even have the Froggy Friends, which we haven't dived into yet, but I'm sure this is also pretty interesting. But you can see, of course, he's holding on to a lot of Plague NFTs, alright? So again, a lot of KOLs here who are really showcasing their belief in this ecosystem, all right? And again, to top it off, it is so closely knit with the bear community as well, all right? I gave you that example earlier with two really big KOLs, and I don't know just how much more connection is there with the other ecosystems. This is just what I've seen so far. There is a ton of synergy with the bears and also with the frogs, all right? They're very, very helpful. All right, I went into the bear Discord and I was like asking for tips on how to figure out which bear I wanted. And you know, you can even stake your bear for credits, which is their token, and that's why you can use to take part in like training, arena, and quests. And some folks were even kind enough to give me credits just like that, alright? I dropped them my wallet address and boom, credits were in my wallet straight away. So they're very, very kind, and I like how it resonates with that angry theme that the frogs has as well, right? Because the frogs are angry with all the bad actors out there. The bears are angry because they're brawling with each other, but they're not fighting with each other, you know, it's just taking out that anger to train with one another in the ultimate goal of bringing Web3 together, alright? And you have all these founders who are just so genuine and so honest and helping out others without expecting anything in return, alright? And it is these kind of mindsets, this kind of community building that you want to see in the space, and something that we at Salad are going to resonate very strongly with, which is why I have stepped one foot through the door and really gotten to know some of these folks, alright? I don't think there is too much for me to show you anymore to highlight those two projects, but I just really want to highlight that in particular because those were the two that I started out with. So I got my Brawler Bear here at 0.0584. You can see that the sale 4 months ago was just at 0.020, right? So that's already a 2x, or an easy 3x already for that gentleman there. And for mine, if I am not mistaken, a very significant flip as well. Oh, I can't see the history because I staked it already, but I think he bought his at like 0.2, right? And obviously he sold it to me for 8.5. So you're not super early, but there is a lot of positive buzz around the projects right now. Okay, so it's not hype for pump and dump. There's genuine feeling for people to grow. So obviously you're not gonna go too wrong with Pudgy Penguins, but again, the same concept. You're not gonna get a flip. We don't know how exactly this is gonna go because it went up to like I think over 7 for a bit, and then it kind of retraced back a bit. But you can't doubt Pudgy Penguins. I've not done a lot of research about them, but they have such an insane community. I still remember this gentleman from Nansen, who is Alex. He's one of our close advisors at Salad, and he was actually recommending Pudgy Penguins at 3.2 Ethereum all the way back in July when he was hosting an event with us, alright? And I just feel so gutted and I didn't believe him. And here they are, alright, already doubled that price.
For me, I would have to say Pudgy Penguins. There's no other choice for me. I am my Pengu and my Pengu is me.
Okay, Sappy Seals, like I mentioned, haven't looked into it, but it looks like a very strong community as well. They're mentioned all the time. Another one that we might look into as well is the Rue Troop. There's a lot of healthy buzz around them as well. Healthy buzz around Froggy Friends, without a doubt. And Ghost Buddies, who look super cute. Alright, and very, very decent prices as well. Healthy buzz, Genuine Undead, also probably one for us to explore in the later episodes here on the Salad Ventures YouTube channel, and of course Casual Sloths. Alright, so again, not in any case financial research, financial advice. 0.03-ish was the floor price just yesterday, alright? It went up to 0.04 already. So clearly there's something going on here as well. They look very, very healthy and they look very positive as well. And there seems to be like this very nice vibe between all the little animals that are looking to make the Web3 space a better place. So I really think that these are worth looking into as well. But for now, for those of you who want to dive into the research proper, it's for me to play NFTs and also Brawler Bears, alright? So really do check it out. We're not going to dive into the ecosystems in this particular episode. It's just me covering some of the vibes that we've been seeing from these two projects, okay? So last but not least, all right, just a couple of tweets here. Yes, we were posting. You see all the bears coming in together. It's very, very popular. You see, of course, that the frogs as well can be so creative. Look at that. There's custom merchandise. It's phenomenal. And there's a lot of friendly exchange, all right? There's no like, you must follow me. If you don't follow me, I'm going to delete you, that kind of thing. There's a little bit. It's a little bit. But I honestly think if you're genuine in connecting with that particular person, and if that person resonates with you and your identity, it's quite easy to pick up connections, and in no time at all, your Twitter feed is going to be full, and you're going to be exposing yourself to so much positivity and good insight, right? Which I find is so valuable on Twitter. I really, really wish that I did this a lot earlier, but you know, focusing a lot on GameFi previously, going to see a lot more of this in the coming episodes. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this episode is something so unique. It's the drive of mass adoption into the NFT space. Now, this has happened not too long ago, but it's the popular Premier League club Manchester United that have adopted NFTs with this Devils digital collection, all right? And of course, Tezos is their official blockchain partner. Now, get this. To get yourself the Tezos wallet, you don't even need to create the wallet yourself. You just need to connect it to a social media account, which in my case was Twitter, and the wallet was generated for me automatically, all right? And of course, you can sync it to another third-party wallet, which in my case, I chose Kukai because some members in the seller community chose Kukai as well. Same thing. You connect with Twitter and it's done. Your NFTs are there. It's so simple. The onboarding and the mass adoption is coming in hot, and who better than Manchester United, one of the biggest Premier League clubs in the world, all right? Now, we minted these bad boys for 46 Tezos. I think that was about 51 SGD, 30 pounds if I recall. So it's around 51 SGD. And you can see now that on the floor price, all right, what the current floor mass collection bidding is 73.16, all right? These are ready-made offers that I can sell off immediately, and that is going to get me 61 US dollars, all right? So if we were to actually do the USD to SGD switch, all right? Let's see, 61, 81, all right? So it was at 2x, to be very honest, just a day ago, all right? The floor price was like 100 Tezos, all right? But it retraced quite a fair bit, all right? But it's still nothing to worry about because, again, it is super early times. Manchester United have over 50 million followers all around the world, all right? And there are only 7,777 Devils, all right? The utility for these Devils have barely been announced on the Discord, all right? Just recently, they gave away a match day program flyer to some of the winners, to some of the Devils that were featured in the flyer itself. But other than that, there has been no other utility that has been announced. They have given you whispers of how there will be raffles, you could attend Premier League games, you could go down to Player of the Year award gala nights. Imagine being able to sit next to your favorite Manchester United player, and all this with very mere investment, currently 60 US dollars, the floor price with Tezos, all right? And again, it's so straightforward, because again, it is all done with a lot of easy onboarding steps, all right? You can even get your Tezos here with Coinbase, bank transfers, credit cards. Yeah, I never tried any of these, but I'm sure it's just all one click away, because when I bought them, again, I just swiped my credit card and boom, I was able to mint the NFTs just like that. No kidding, all right? I keyed in my credit card number, boom, spent 50 Singapore dollars, and I had a Devils NFT minted for me straight away. Now, for the colors, I can consider myself pretty lucky because the greens are considered the rare, the blues are like the ultra rare, which are like the goalkeepers, and the reds are the more common ones because obviously there are more reds as a Manchester United Devil. But you can see here already there is a very healthy profit just by me selling off to the floor, and they weren't even sold out that super quick. I've heard of folks minting up to 150 of them, so well done. They could easily double up on their investment right now, but it is here to stay, all right? The mass adoption is kicking in, and Manchester United, big club, so you really need to check this out. Once more, collectibles.manunited.com. That's MANUTD.com, all right? I'm going to be adding all the links in the description below as well, all right? But basically, yes, that's pretty much what we have for you for this episode. Hope that was enough for you to absorb in. At the end of the day, Captain Aqua here to remind you that you need to be vigilant, you need to be diligent, you need to go out and perform your own research, all right? Take the time to visit the Discords, interact with the community, go on Twitter, feel the vibes, and get to know your community members as well, and don't look for that quick flip, all right? One good example is this Mecha Legends Genesis. Okay, I'm not here to shame them, but I don't know much about them at all, but they were on the spotlight, and they started out at 0.085, and then boom, they were 0.12, 0.18, 0.2 Ethereum, you know, suddenly the price is skyrocketing, and then boom, it's back at 0.085. I don't know what caused that to happen. Maybe there was like some staking thing or some airdrop thing that happened. Could have been the case, but literally in a space of a few days, the price doubled and went back. All right, so I don't know much about them, but again, this is the part where you really need to do your own research, right? Because if you were to just go and click them and you were like, oh, it's so hype, it's gotta be good, and you bought it at 0.2, and then now the floor is at 0.089, then you'd be like, oh man, that's horrible, I want to take a loss, and then you sell it. No, you have to pick your community well. Even Small Bros NFTs, alright? I've heard a lot of good things about them as well. And if I'm not mistaken, we did see some activity where it climbed up pretty big. Well, not super high, right? Not super high, sorry. It's just a little bit above 0.13. But yeah, of course, there's a bit of a retrace here. So maybe nothing too crazy, all right, that has happened. It looks pretty stable, all right? So again, I can't say too much because I haven't done my research on any of these communities, but it's just my rough gauge on how you need to be careful and you need to take the time to do your own research, all right? So feel free to reach out to me in the Seller Discord if you have any questions about the play or for Brawler Bears in that regard, all right? Because I'll be more than happy to help you out. And again, just such an amazing synergy between the two collections. So I'm super excited. Cannot wait to get more. And there are going to be a lot more NFT updates coming to you right here within the Seller Ventures YouTube channel. And look out for that gem campaign that I mentioned at the start of the video. It's going to be all about community building and providing you that value in this realm as we continue to X to earn together. My name is Captain Aqua, and once more reminding you, as always, to stay calm and keep going. Goodbye.